Bro, they're tripping. Someone get the wet floor sign because they're tripping! Little Timmy fell in the well.
What?
What well?
What well?
The Dragon's Well. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back to the Dragon's Well.
It is me, Sprites. I'm here joined with my good buddy, my good pal, Maverick. How's it going, Maverick?
It's going great, man. I'm excited to be back for episode 5. That's like a big. I mean, that's a big number for us.
Dude, that's a hand.
That's a hand.
That's a hand. Listen, hey, that's half double digits.
Half double digits.
That's crazy.
Number 10, the big one.
Absolutely.
It's almost here.
Also, I do want to apologize. It is my fault 110%. On all the delays and everything that you have kind of, well, let's just say the reason why we haven't been consistent on posting recently. And nothing to do with Maverick. I'm the blame. So, I'm your guy.
Okay, this is where we're going to disagree because so as a lot of you know, I am in school, and school has kind of started back, and so if there's any inconsistency in posting or anything, it may be a lack on my part for editing and things because, man, school. Hey, but you know what?
Are we about to have a nice off right now? I'm the problem. No, I'm the problem.
Yeah, right. No, well, okay, so I'm in the final countdown.
Copyright.
Oh yeah, I know. Hey, look, we've already got canceled anyway. So
yeah. Well, I've noticed I'm super bad aim because I have yet to hit the blimp above the house. It's still just chilling there. By this point, I mean it's already had all the intel it needs.
Well, that's because you've been getting all your practice shots in Overwatch, though, right?
Yeah. Or getting practice shot really.
Yeah. I got practice shot a few times.
That's why I main Ryan, because no bullets come out of me.
Yeah, that's right.
I just swing my hammer nonstop like I'm playing, like I got the hammer from Smash. But
it's because you live in your best D&D days.
Yeah,
that's your
sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, welcome back, guys. I know it has been a while, and we're most certainly, as you can tell, we're in a bit of a silly mood. But hey, you know, it is what it is, and I think this is when we do our best recording.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, when we go off script and really just, be authentic.
I mean, we're here to have fun, though, right? I mean, that's why I do this.
Oh, I don't do anything to not have fun. But, well, anyways, what you been playing, man?
So you know, we've been doing a lot of practicing with the esports kids. We've been playing a lot of Smash.
Mm-hmm.
Usually that is practicing with them, and then we've been doing a lot of Overwatch. I got a lot of Overwatch 2 practicing. Actually, finally getting some skins from all the grind.
I know. I'm pumped. I finally have this skins to apply to my characters.
What was this?
Instead of being just vanilla.
What was the new skin for Roadhog?
I don't even know. Is that from? That's right now. For those who don't know, there's something like in Overwatch that they're doing like a collab with One Punch Man from the anime, and they had Doomfist being Saitama and a bunch of other ones dropping. Well, they dropped a free one. It's some sort of like squid-looking dude, or I don't even know because I haven't seen all of One Punch Man, so I'll just be honest with you. So I don't know what it is, but it's free skin. You know.
Well, hey, look, you know I'm down for anything free. I don't.
Yeah.
any game like that, I'm going to try not to pay for, but you know if it so chooses, I mean I have been known to spend a little bit of money on stuff like that. But no, I got on last night and they released the Pachimari skin. Dude, I played 6 matches and got the Pachimari skin. So now my Roadhog looks, I don't know, I guess he's got like a big turnip on his stomach.
Better than normal?
Oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Well, but Overwatch, what else?
So I'm going to give out a shout out to a couple of your buddies because those guys have got me. So as many of you know, I used to play World of Warcraft, and it did consume a good bit of my life. And then I went back to college and had kids, and that kind of ended that. But
kind of hard to raid when you got an infant underneath you.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. So we, I've been thinking about getting back into an MMO, especially with school coming to a close, and you buddies I've watched a live stream, and it is like Final Fantasy 14, and I am. It's bad.
You know what? I was talking to that specific buddy, and he'll know if he actually watches the podcast and supports us instead of being lazy. But anyways.
Well, I mean, he should not be lazy. We need the numbers.
Get those numbers up. But I was talking to him last night, and he actually said something that was surprising, right? Because one of the things that I was trying to do, and I just jumped on, and they've been playing for a while, is I was trying to hop in their server. Well, and you ran into the same issue trying to be in the same exact server that they are, is the server that they're playing in is completely full. They're not even enabling players to make new players or new characters, and I was getting, I was getting a little upset. I mean, nothing like blowing my top off, but I was getting upset because I was like, how in the world are these servers packed?
I think they should just all move their characters over to our server.
I know. That would make it much easier.
Oh yeah,
for us.
Yeah, because then they could help us, level up.
But they were telling me, and I didn't check the numbers on this, but they were telling me that Final Fantasy right now is the most popular MMO, or one of the most popular MMOs out there. So even above WoW, they said there was a kind of like a mass exodus when Blizzard wasn't doing well and listening to their fan base. When it really kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Well, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, where
with WoW.
WoW did, they were like trying to copy everything that came out. I mean, so like you there again, you're playing World of Warcraft and you're in a farming simulator or something like that.
Yeah.
And so
trying to get your turnips grow.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not playing Animal Crossing. I'm playing. So.
While you tell your giant saber-toothed tiger mount to halt right quick while you go pick harvest your carrots.
Right. And so, it did, and they've been losing people left and right, and so when Final Fantasy 14 came out, because I went back and I remember playing it back in, I think it was 2020. And they had a free trial, and I played it for a little while, and I mean, it's okay. I just wasn't in the MMO mood, I guess, at that time. But
MMO is always better with friends. Too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When you got people that like on comms and people that like are invested in the game as much as you are. Yeah. I think in fact it even entices you to be more invested.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and my wife and I played for. I mean, we played WoW for like six-ish years.
One of those buddies last night was talking about getting like, I guess, the Final Fantasy's version of a guild going.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Between all of us.
Yeah,
I think it's called like a free party or free company, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So we're looking to do that. But so if any listeners are interested in becoming or hopping on Final Fantasy 14 and wanting to become a part of our free company, I'd love to have you.
Yeah, wait for the server to empty a little bit. Maybe WoW. Maybe with the update coming to WoW, maybe some Final Fantasy people will move back over to WoW and get off my server, so I can get on there and play with friends.
Yeah,
because that's kind of hard. And I did look into moving characters, and it looked like it was about $15 or so to move your character. And if I put enough work into them, then it would be worth it to move.
All I know is this game is about to feel the wrath of Ainz. The shortest character in the game, y'all listen. Our group needs a healer, right? And so I stepped up being the humble guy that I am. I said, hey, I'll take that role. I'll keep you guys alive. And so I thought about it long and hard, and I'm like, how does my character need to look? Because I'm going to be saving people's lives, and I'm like, do I go intimidating? Do I go vicious? And I'm like, listen, I think more than anything else, I need to let them know that I am there for them, and nothing tells me that more than a cute, adorable chibi kid. And so now, I mean, listen, I'm so short, I ain't got no kneecaps, right? I mean,
So he waddles.
listen, every cutscene, I can't even hear what the people are saying because they're like, only you can defeat such and such, right? I mean, like, you're the chosen one, right?
Yeah,
You're
right,
Anakin
right.
Skywalker. They're like, you're gonna be the guy, right? And in the midst of saying all that, all I can hear is because my stretchy pants aren't stretchy enough, and my dude ain't got no kneecaps. So while he's walking, he's full stride everywhere he walks, and yet his stride, it makes a third of that of a normal individual.
Awesome.
It's great.
That's great. You know, that's great.
But I do have humps. I got the vertical on my character. It's up there.
Well, that's why, and that's why, you know, when I played WoW, my first character was Tino, you know, my gnome mage, and I picked the mage so he didn't look as funny when he ran.
I'm super tempted though to transition my character from a healer to, you know, some sort of tank class though, because I feel like it would be hilarious to have a weapon that is 3 times the size of my character.
That would be so awesome.
And just like, don't worry guys, I got a tank. I'm tanking up. And here I am. They're like, who is talking? Where is this character at?
Where is he at? I see his axe. I don't see his head. Where's he at?
Look down. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
You know, I rival that of Plankton.
They'll probably do some kind of joke like that in the new Dungeons and Dragons movie because it looks like it could possibly be a big joke if they don't do it right.
I did see a moment in that. Speaking a little bit about that trailer, a moment in that trailer that I found hilarious, and the revivify spell, or it's not revivify. I think it's talk to the dead. But essentially, they're trying to get information from this skeleton, and he's like, so how many questions do we have? And he's like, you have 3, and the skeleton keeps like responding to these questions that are not intended to actually be questions.
Right.
So he's like, we have 3 questions, and the skeleton's like, yes. He's like, 2 now, and he's like, no, that wasn't a question, was it? And he's like, yes. He's like, why did you word it that way? He's like, you have 1. And so they get like no information out of the skeleton, and he just like goes back to sleep. And he's like, well, that was a waste of time.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
I mean, I'm hopeful. I don't think it's going to be all that great. But
no, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of D&D fans that are probably packed off. But hopefully, you know, the Mario movie will redeem all video game movies, and we'll be able to see you know, what did I say a couple weeks ago? An NCU, NCU,
NCU.
So, well, all right, man. I guess we will kind of move into our next topic. I'm excited because IGN posted something that I kind of want to pick apart.
Oh,
so
let's go.
When I guess
you got your list ready.
Oh, I got my list ready.
About the torch.
We're gonna torch this list. I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna wad it up, throw it in the garbage, pull it back out. I don't know, man. I
hope you're ready though. After the moment that we say this, there's going to be an edit on their post, and then everything that we're going to say here is going to be shown in there.
Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna tag that for sure.
Yeah,
we're gonna post
trademark
that.
it.
We're gonna post it on Twitter.
Mavericks list.
We're gonna post it on Twitter. We're gonna. I mean, that's it. And then it'll be Twitter official. Twitter official. And
give us that blue mark.
That's right.
That blue check.
That's right. Come on. Speaking of Twitter official, you know, old master Twitter himself, Elon Musk, finally shipped my Starlink and got it set up.
Blessed be the Elon.
Blessed be the Elon. Well, I mean, when my speeds jump from like 125 or 180 to like 10 during peak time, and I'm trying to play Overwatch, and my guy's like glitching to the left and glitching to the right, and I can't hit my healing shots, then that's
moments where he has issues with the solar panels on his house, so he's like, I gotta
yeah, right.
invest some,
the Iron Man repulsors on the satulites aren't boosting quite fast enough.
Yeah. They hit a pigeon up there in orbit, so they get unblocks the lens a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I know nothing about satellites, so I'm sure there's no lenses on them. But anyway.
I don't know. They look like they've got some lenses on them. Well, man, I guess other than Final Fantasy and Overwatch, you've been playing anything else?
Well, I got. I've been getting big into like Magic the Gathering online. Well, not online, but the arena one. You know, the one with the kind of animations and whatnot. Because you know, there's two. There's online and there's arena. Well, arena is a lot more like user friendly, and it is. Well, it's actually playable without having existing cards. Right.
And thank you, by the way, for getting me sucked into that too.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome.
I mean, I needed something to fill those 3 weeks I was on a school break.
I mean, it's just it is. It's really fun. You know, I've played Magic. You know, growing up, I learned about Magic from my dad.
Right.
My dad played Magic forever, right, and still does. And so he got us big into Magic, and I remember something that, you know, is not. Excuse me, something that we don't do too often anymore. I mean, like ever, but. Back growing up, I used to go to these tournaments, like actual in-game or in real life tournaments.
Oh, that's cool.
And you know, I've done a few different formats. I went in there and played some standard, right, where you come in with a pre-built deck, like a deck that you built yourself. Right, and then you play, and then of course, and most of the time they were like double or single elimination, right? So it's like, if you lost one, you get to play again, and if you keep losing, right, like you'll drop in the bracket. And normally there was a good bit of people. Like, I'm talking about like 25, 26 people there, if memory holds correctly. And so it was a fairly big card shop that we'd go to, and we'd play, and we would have a ball. I mean, it'd be awesome. I think I was in like third, fourth grade maybe. I mean, I was young. Competing. That's
awesome.
And I remember there was one time I placed. I think I got like third or something like that. I mean, it was really fun.
Well, there was a card place close to where I grew up, and we would go in every Saturday, like once or twice a month whenever we were going to Longview, and I would. Yeah. I'd play standard, and we did that a couple of times. We didn't do it a whole lot, but it was just kind of one of the things. If we were in Longview, we needed a pack of cards or something, we'd go pick it up. But.
Well, and many of those that are, know us personally, and many of those that live around this area knows that we live in a rural area, right? So card games are not necessarily prevalent unless you play online. Right, because very few people actually own physical cards.
Yeah.
All right, and even fewer people are able to play, a structured amount of or a structured game, that is. So, to be able to have something like that, like Arena, where I don't have to invest any of my personal money. Now, in saying that, I have dropped like $20 on it.
Yeah,
right. Because it's one of those things where it's like you get like a super awesome deal at the beginning of the game, beginning of the setup of your account, right? And they're like, hey, you get this bundle that's like really, super valuable.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and obviously essentially it is like a waste of $20 because none of these are, are worth anything in real life, but. I've played a lot, and I'm pretty sure I've already got more than $20 worth out of the game.
Oh,
it's a free game, and it's fun. And I will say this: you don't have to drop any money on it. It is very easy, and that's Magic Arena. For those who are still wondering what it is, Magic Arena is very simple.
I can honestly say that I have played for a couple weeks now. And I've got a bunch of new decks, a ton of new cards.
Yeah,
and
just about every day they'll give you a new starter deck.
Yeah, I hadn't spent a dime on it yet, so.
And then, and they have a bunch of, like, online codes and whatnot. So, for those that are interested in Magic, or just card games in general and want to try it out, I encourage, just give it a try. You can download it on your phone. You can download it on an iPad or a tablet of some sort. You can get it on your PC.
And I'll say it, and I'll vouch for the iPad. I don't know how it is on phone. I know it's kind of.
It's actually pretty good on phone.
Is it really?
It runs good. Yeah.
Okay. Because I have an iPad and I play it on the iPad and it plays perfectly. I've never had a problem with it. So.
But really, other than that, man, that's kind of between Magic. We're, like we said, we're getting into Final Fantasy a little bit, and then Overwatch, and then practice Smash when I can, but. I'll be honest with you, that's probably one of the ones that I neglect the most. But
Yeah.
Well, I found myself running a Nuzlocke with my
yeah.
Nuzlocke recently.
Uh-huh.
Just playing through Crystal, just chillaxing.
Yeah. Well, and I've got to get in and finish Hogwarts Legacy. I'm so far into it. I'm so close to the end. But yeah, I gotta finish, or I'm like I said, I'm in a 7-week countdown for school, and you tack on an extra week, and then there's there's Tears of the Kingdom, and when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, I'm going to apologize to those
Breath of the Kingdom
Final Fantasy 14 buddies. May have to take a break from that when Tears of the Kingdom comes out. I'm sorry, but
many of them are probably going to do the same.
Okay, well, good. I won't feel so bad.
Many of them are, at least I believe, probably 2 of them will, most likely. So,
well,
but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, man, let's get into this next segment.
Yeah, IGN.
So before we hop into IG, we do want to take this opportunity in this time to be able to have you guys get to know us a little bit more. Maybe some of y'all don't know us as well as other listeners, because we know we have a lot of listeners. Well, yeah, people that listen, not visit.
I mean, they might come to visit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think some of them do, actually. But we know a lot of them personally. But for those that don't never met us or don't really know much about us, we want to kind of take this time to be able to do a brief personality test. It is something that I think was pretty fun. And so I have already taken it, and this is what mine says, right? And it's out of, I guess there's like 10 that you can be, 10 different types of personalities. Like there's no other personalities in the world but these.
Right.
You have to be in one of these categories. But mine is number 8, I guess, is what I tested at the highest in. And this is what an 8 is. 8s are people with high levels of energy.
I would agree with that.
Intensity and willpower. Listen to this. They project power and toughness and take challenges as an invitation to prove their strength.
Oh,
gladiator.
That is nail on the head.
I know. The more I read about it, the more I'm like, maybe these are not bogus tests. Because listen, this one says they enjoy open confrontation and don't back down easily. 8s often have a fierce passion to protect the vulnerable and weak, but they have trouble admitting any kind of weakness or vulnerability themselves. I was like, that's totally not me.
No, that is absolutely.
It is for sure me. Anybody that knows me personally knows I could be a bit hard-headed. And even listen to this, the strength, they give us little individual strengths on this. And some of the strengths are start off with this: care about truth and justice and are willing to protect the weak, which is vitally important in my life. Those that know me know, I preach the gospel, the gospel truth, in fact. And truth is one of the most vital and most important things that anybody could ever have in their life. Jesus, in fact, said the truth shall set you free or make you free.
Amen.
Is what the scripture says. So most certainly truth is important. Justice is also important. It also says are confident in their decision-making skills, which, don't worry about what people think. I have those that know me personally, once again, they're going to get this almost a little inside joke. It's kind of a running theme. Anytime that somebody says something that might even remotely have to deal with me, I'll say, not my problem. It's not my problem, Mark. It's not my problem. Don't worry about what people think about them. Have a charismatic knack for leadership. Are fearless and inspire others to overcome their fears. And so I thought it was kind of spot on the hard-headedness, on the ability and the desire to, be a leader, seek justice.
Well, especially for like our esports kids, we try to be not just their coaches, but their mentors, and sometimes it's mentor in life situations, and I think those kids know that we're
a lot more than I think we expected, but.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think Discord kind of opened up some of that because we have a esports Discord for those guys, and
which we're thankful for all of the esports kids that are listening. And we're thankful that you guys trust us enough to come to us and have a desire to have a conversation and try to find a resolve in that.
For sure.
Each and every one of y'all. So
yeah,
but
shout out to all of them.
Which I know you haven't got the opportunity to take it yet, but because it was something that I just had taken today. It's only about 5 minutes or so of a test. Pretty simple, short, to the sweet and to the point. But
so maybe we'll do a segment on the next one where to learn a little bit about
Maverick's personality.
I know my time management is horrible, but it's because in my head I think that I can do it better than the next person. So
absolutely.
I don't delegate very well. So
you might be a little bit of an 8 too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
We'll have to see. One of the very first things that it says is that we are very independent people.
Oh yeah.
And so and I was like, that's to a degree, it's true.
Yeah.
I enjoy social interactions and friend groups and things like that. But at the end of the day, I can get by, and if I had to work by my lonesome, I would,
Yeah.
So.
You just talk to yourself, right?
Yeah, I do that often. I do that now with people around me. So.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
But
all right, so you ready to
IGN?
IGN. Yeah. So we're gonna rip this. We're gonna rip this list apart.
Let me bring this up.
Let's say, I guess what we should start with is their list. So at their list, they have. So IGN put out a top 10 list. I don't remember when it was. It was about a week or so ago. Of course, everybody's doing Breath of the Wild videos, and they're building that hype. Nintendo's not doing a whole lot to build the hype, but IGN and a lot of content creators are building the hype for Tears of the Kingdom. So IGN decided to do this list. It was number one pick of all-time best Zelda games. So I guess they went back and they reviewed and looked at all of them. And so number 10 on the list was Twilight Princess.
Number 10, Twilight Princess.
Yeah. So 9 was Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. I guess they combined those two together because
these are all Zelda games, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That one, I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember that one.
Well, now I've heard that one was a really good one. I think it was for the Game Boy Advance.
Wait, okay, so all of these are Zelda games and Twilight Princess drops to 10?
Yes.
Whoa, they're bugging.
Oh, no,
they're bugging so hard.
So 8 was the
way.
8 was the original Legend of Zelda.
Okay, dude, you're taking a OG Zelda over Twilight Princess?
Let's see. Number 7 was A Link Between Worlds.
Okay, that was actually pretty good.
I did not play that one. I heard it was really good.
That one was pretty good.
Now, that was a 3DS?
I enjoyed that one. I think so.
Maybe 3DS?
I might be thinking about something different. I think I might be thinking about like Four Swords or something like that. That was for GBA. That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that one.
Okay, and now, so they have number 6, they have Link's Awakening. Now, I don't know if that's the original for a Game Boy.
No, I think that's the new one.
Well,
that's the remake, right?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if they're talking about the old one or if they're mixing the remake. Because I know there was some, again, everybody jumped all over Legend of Zelda creators for changing the art style from the top-down approach to the little chibi approach.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did with Pokemon. But, yeah, I loved it. I didn't play the original. I didn't play the original on Game Boy.
Fun fact, it was actually the very first game I ever had on Switch. Was the updated or the remake to Link's Awakening. It was fun. It was really fun. I
absolutely
enjoyed
loved it. It was a really good game. Number 5, Wind Waker.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I still so here's the thing. I've played maybe 5 minutes of it, and I still think that it probably should be above that.
Yeah. Well, Wind Waker was an amazing game.
Yeah, art style so much different than everything else.
And I think that's probably why IGN put it at 5. I think it does deserve to be a little higher.
I think maybe the timing kind of got the best of Wind Waker, though. because I think it was Wind Waker, and then I think they dropped Twilight Princess really close, if not like similar. They might have dropped Twilight Princess first. I don't remember.
Well,
But I think they were really close together.
I was going to say both were on the GameCube. I
Yeah,
believe.
both were on GameCube, but I remember Twilight Princess got on the Wii, but not Wind Waker, I don't think.
Well, number 3. No, wait, skipped one. Number 4, Majora's Mask.
Okay.
Number 3, Ocarina of Time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's the last one?
Number 2, A Link to the Past.
Okay, yeah.
And which I will say, A Link to the Past was the Legend of Zelda game that got me interested in Legend of Zelda. I played the original.
It was good.
Back on NES. I was not a fan. I was not a Legend of Zelda fan in the beginning.
It was just strange.
Well, it wasn't your typical, like, what you were used to, Mario, side-scrolling, Rygar, things like that,
Yeah.
that I remember playing. And since it just kind of, I don't know, I didn't like the
It's also hard to, like, understand the concept behind the game, right? Because we didn't have pre-existing things that we have now, like a whole existing universe with Link and Zelda and Ganon and all that. I mean, it was just so, like, it was hard for us to truly understand because I don't think it was totally established yet.
Yeah, I mean, and being the first of its kind, I mean, it probably wasn't. That's probably why IGN put it on number 8 on the list.
Just nostalgia.
Now,
essentially.
I mean, number 1 is not going to be any surprise.
Yeah.
It is Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild. I agree. Breath of the Wild for sure. I think Ocarina of Time. So, a lot of these I haven't played. I would say it's a hard, and I might aggravate some people with this take, and that's all right. But I would probably Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess would probably be very close. I would probably take Twilight Princess over Ocarina of Time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Ocarina of Time.
I think Ocarina of Time came out in such a time period where it was like, I mean, it was amazing, because like you didn't really see very many other games do what that did. It really brought almost one of the very first full, like, open world experiences in a way.
Yeah,
I mean, semi-open world.
And not just that, but I mean, it took a game that's been, that top down or side scrolling perspective.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you had Link's Awakening where you had some side scrolling, which is what killed me on Legend of Zelda, the second one.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. It didn't even make the top 10 list, and for good reason, because I think that may have been what the TV show was based off of, which was probably
you got me.
Was probably why, like the old 80s cartoon, the old Legend of Zelda 80s cartoon. I think it was 80s.
I mean, listen, when you got a franchise that more than half of its lifespan, everybody thought that Zelda was the person you play as.
Yeah.
It and then Ocarina of Time happens, and you're like, wait a minute, so like the main character's not Zelda?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and everybody's like, no, he's Link.
Yeah.
And he's like, but like, why is it Zelda then? And you're like, just face palming, physical pain is falling on your body. You're just I can't believe this guy right here. You want to him just like Link does? Yeah.
Well, and I mean, Link didn't have a voice until
I think until was it no?
No, he had one in A Link to the
that.
Past.
Yeah,
because it was just kind of like a squeal, I guess.
I mean, even now you don't even really hear him say anything. He just grunts.
Yeah. I mean,
even in Super Smash Bros. You're gonna go play him in Ultimate, and he's still going, yeah.
Yep.
And then you play Young Link, and he's like,
sounds like the chickens that you pick up in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they jump off the. You jump off one of the houses with the chickens, and you like fly into the little area.
Maybe Link is deaf, and he doesn't know, like he doesn't actually know how to say words.
Oh, that's a possible theory. So
far-fetched one, but
so if they get someone like Tom Holland to do a live action, do you think he's just going to make noises? Or
he does that now, doesn't he?
I mean,
when he just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Tom Holland is not. I mean, I don't know about seeing Tom Holland blonde.
Yeah, right.
Like that blonde, right?
Well, I saw a render on something that somebody had created, like a Netflix type poster thing. When
I mean, he kind of has a character build for it, though.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
that's not, I mean, that's not a bad. I've heard of worse casting.
are we going back there again?
Going back, about to torch Chris Pratt for a second round. I've heard of worse casting. It's me.
What was it? I saw the final trailer for the Mario movie. We're gonna get off the subject for a second.
We're about to.
But he actually, I heard one part where it was like he did a decent "Let's go," and I'm like, where was that in the first trailer?
Yeah, why did you not lead with that?
Did they re-record some because he took some heat? But he doesn't seem like the type.
Listen, social media is so powerful nowadays. One of the very first things that has ever happened in the cinema industry had happened, a few years back with Sonic.
Oh,
you remember that?
Yeah.
That has never. I don't remember that ever taking place. Where like there's a finished movie, trailers are coming out, and they got roasted so hard they took it back and they were like, "Hey, this was just a joke.
Well, okay,
it's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank."
Well, here's the thing, though. They went back and fixed it. Hey,
I props to them. I think it was better for it for sure. But the reality is, they got roasted so hard that they were like, "We can't."
Well, and here's the thing: if you take the humans out of Sonic, it's a great movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, now you add the humans back, and it's okay. I mean, the kids love it. The parts with Sonic, I mean, that was great.
Yeah.
If they could make it. Which, I mean, it'd be high budget, but, I mean, if they could make it with just Sonic, I mean, like half of Sonic 2, you don't see, I mean, you see some interactions with some people, but mostly it's like Robotnik and Knuckles, and it's great.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good movie. So, but yeah, getting back to the list, I think I agree with most of the items on the list.
Yeah, same.
I just don't agree with the order. And I do know that Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons was supposedly a really good game. Now, I am just now, with the Game Boy Advance thing, playing Minish Cap.
Oh, yeah.
And Minish Cap is actually really fun. I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed Minish Cap.
I think there's a lot of them that are probably very close to each other, right? And so I think maybe the top 3-4 games you really need to consider. I think the rest of them are just kind of like they are interchangeable in a way. I say that. What is the top 5 again? We have Breath of the Wild. We have
A Link to the Past.
We have Link to the Past is 5.
No, Link to the Past is 2.
Link to the Past is 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Ocarina of Time was 2.
No, Ocarina of Time was 3.
Okay, and then we got Majora's Mask, and then what's Wind Waker?
Yeah.
So I feel like if we can reorder that, is that Link to the Past? Which one is that?
I would take Breath of the Wild first.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
I would probably take A Link to the Past second, just because of the fact that was more nostalgia than anything. Yeah. And I still will go back and play that game. Like right now, I could go home, drop 3 or 4 hours on that
Absolutely.
game. I would bump Ocarina of Time down and move Twilight Princess to probably the 3rd slot, because I absolutely love the dark.
I think it was done.
Part of Twilight.
I think it was
Princess.
one of the most incredible games for the time that it came out. I mean, it's still, like, obviously, you look at it now and the graphics are dated, but I mean, you look at a game, how long ago was that? I mean, that was like 15 plus years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it was GameCube era.
I mean, like, that's, and so you're bound to have some discrepancies in graphics nowadays, but like,
well, and I think
even still, like, I think about that game, and that was one of the big things that I remember is like it aesthetically at the time just looked incredible compared to everything else, and it was on the GameCube, right? Which isn't notoriously known for its graphic potential.
No, but they had some really good games.
They did.
I mean, I think that's what, wasn't it GameCube that started introducing Resident Evil and stuff to Nintendo systems?
I think you're right.
Yeah, because it could handle the graphics.
one thing that I think, and you might disagree with this, and that's perfectly fine, but when it comes to GameCube, the GameCube games, the vast majority, I think, of GameCube games are more, and this is just Nintendo staple on the way that they view marketing, but are very, kid oriented, right? Are very focused in terms of like getting families or kids interactive, and so for the most part, a lot of their big hitters were towards kids.
Well, and with the Wii, I mean, I think the whole Wii thing was geared strictly for kids and families to get to like come together and
absolutely, yeah.
Like if the Wii would have come out, an updated Wii version of a console or something would have come out during COVID, it would have sold. It would have outsold everything.
Yeah,
because
for sure. Yeah,
with everybody having to stay at home and things like that.
Well, and so where I was getting at with that is just the idea that I think a lot of the games were made in mind to be more cartoonish.
Yeah.
More, and so I think a lot of, when you think about GameCube games, you think of erring more on the side of like lighthearted, cartoonish. And then when you look at, like, even Wind Waker, for instance, was a little bit more cartoony, right? No, not as, but then you go and take a drastic, like, 180 with Twilight Princess when it drops, and you're like, this is dark. Like, it's like, I mean, literally the game is dark.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even talking about like it's dark storyline. It's just,
and it was, I mean, and that's what it was. It was, and I think
it's like grungy and dark, and
and I think they listened to, they listened to their the reviews, because I mean, when Wind Waker came out, it took a long time for a lot of people to get into it. And
so this is their Zelda take. Is there any other takes that we have in terms of like the top or the best games?
I don't think IGN's released anything
like
recently.
Anything recently?
Yeah, I know that there was a top 10 Switch titles
I think I saw not too long ago, maybe like top 100. Which I mean, we're not going to look at all that, obviously, but
I think there was a top 10 of something.
Oh,
but
check this out! I'm looking at the list right now. IGN's top 100. 100. Oh, we're going to have somebody I know for a fact disagreeing with this. At 100, Borderlands 2.
No,
we're going to have multiple. Whoa! At 8. Whoa, what?
Oh, number 100 is Borderlands 2.
Like as in the best?
No. like as in the
as in like
the bottom of the list. Yeah.
Look, 98. Look at that. My Roman numerals are up to par. I do believe that says Final Fantasy VII.
Oh.
At 98?
I disagree. Wait.
Who typed this out?
Let me get down to the bottom.
Who typed this out at 98?
Okay, so this is their list. I mean, if you
Black Assassin's Creed Black Flag was better in their eyes than Final Fantasy VII.
Who works for IGN?
Monkey Island beat out Final Fantasy. What is Monkey Island? What is this?
Why is Monkey Island even on the list?
What?
Now, I mean, okay.
Well, it's LeChuck's Revenge. It's LeChuck. Let me tell you who I do know.
No.
Sephiroth. Let me tell you who else I know. Cloud Strife. Yeah. What? Burnout 3, Fallout 2. League of Legends is 93.
Portal 2 is number 3.
Mega Man 3 is 9. Do you see this? Mega Man 3 is 92.
I'm having a serious problem here.
Let me get my guy at IG and let me call him up right quick.
Hey, now here there's one of our esports kids was going to love this.
Are y'all having a stroke?
Number 8 out of their top 100 is Red Dead 2.
Okay, it is a pretty phenomenal game.
Okay, so
I haven't even played it.
I was going to say, I played like 15, 20
but
minutes.
But from what I've gathered, it's pretty... Animal Crossing?
What is Disco Elysium?
What? Thief 2?
And why is it number 10?
I don't understand this at all. Tony Hawk Pro Skater is at 86.
Halo
I'm not even
2 is number 15.
Okay. Monster Hunter World. Let me get down there. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is 76 of all time.
No. See, okay.
Splunk. Who is Return of Obra Dinn?
Listen to this. Chrono Trigger is widely regarded as the greatest RPG of all time, according to IGN.
Dota,
but it's number 24. Now, I am a big fan of Final Fantasy, and Chrono Trigger is right up there with Final Fantasy.
Mario Kart is 72.
Oh, man.
Oh, what is happening?
Okay, so I completely disagree with IGN.
What? This is awful. What? Listen, and I know we're Christian friendly, but there was a time. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas
Beats Final Fantasy.
It's 66.
No, Final Fantasy 7 was a greater game.
And by far, but San Andreas was probably the best, which I haven't played very many, Grand Theft Autos at all, especially recently. I don't play it at all anymore,
right.
Because obviously it's a very not family-friendly game. Not a very Christian-oriented game, for sure.
So parents, if you're listening to this,
do not let them.
Even if they're 16, don't let them.
Rise of the Tomb Raider is better than... Wow. The Witness, what is this game? What is this? Why is The Witness 59th? The Witness is beating Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Listen, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out almost as soon... Was it as soon as the Switch came out? Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out, correct?
Okay, I'm gonna. How did Final Fantasy VI get 44 with 7 being?
Do you know when Ultimate came out on the Switch?
Smash Brothers Ultimate. What year did the Switch come out?
I think it was like 6 or 7 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was 6.
This is saying The Witness, whatever this is. I've never heard of it in my life. The Witness. It's 59th. It's beating it by like a whole, almost 15 or so. I think Ultimate was like 72 or something. I don't know. I've already scrolled past it. Ultimate is 72.
Who?
Ultimate came out 7 years ago. It's still $60. I haven't even heard of The Witness. I don't know. What are you witnessing?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to.
The Journey. Overwatch is 56.
It's a first-person puzzle video game.
What?
The Witness.
Miss Pac-Man is 53rd. Counter-Strike? Oh, my. I want to throw up. This is awful. World of Warcraft is 47th.
Okay.
I can't. Guys, friends.
I quit.
Listeners of the Dragon's Well, we need to be refreshed right now. We need to listen. And let me tell you, I'm going to call IGN to repentance right now, because what they have done is it's blasphemy. It's a travesty.
It is. It's horrible.
What? World of Warcraft, known easily for being one of the highest grossing games of all time, especially when it comes to like individual players. I believe at one point nobody was even remotely close to having the amount of monthly players that World of Warcraft.
Listen to this.
It's 47th.
Listen to this. This was updated.
I gotta
20 days ago.
I gotta keep looking.
This was updated 20 days ago. Who wrote this article? Because I'm gonna call them. We're gonna email them.
Yeah. This is Dragon's Well Gaming. We're coming for you.
That's right.
Call me Liam Neeson now, because I'm coming.
John Wick.
Okay. What else?
Speaking of which, I actually did John Wick come out today? Do we need to shut this down? And John Wick 4 may be out today.
Skyrim was 41st.
Wow.
Metroid Prime 42nd. Pokemon Yellow.
I saw that.
43. What? What is higher than these? I mean, these are all solid games for sure.
I mean, a lot. I mean,
Minecraft is 33. Minecraft, one of one of the biggest games in the world.
Minecraft is still like in the top 5 on the Switch downloads.
Oh, Halo Combat Evolved is 32.
They're tripping.
Bro, they're tripping.
They're bad.
Someone get the wet floor sign because they're tripping. What? I can't. Maybe I am an 8 because I'm bringing the energy today. That's crazy, y'all. If y'all agree with me in the chat, if y'all just want to let out some steam, just listen. Wherever there's a comment section that you can type in, even if it's just a random YouTube video, just click a YouTube video and let people know. Just say, hey.
The Dragon's Well's got
the Dragon's Well is angered
more than IGN.
The Dragon's Well is angered.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Wow,
dude.
that's crazy.
Oh man, what did they say the number 1 game was? Did you see?
Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay.
I agree with their top number 1.
Breath of the Wild is very close.
Super Mario World was 2, which Super Mario World is really good.
Yeah. I mean, you got Mario. I would. Personally, to me, if you were to have to go, and let's just stick at the top 5, what would you go?
Oh,
this is a hard question. Top 5.
Let's see.
And it could be from like anything, right? You like we're talking MMOs, PC gaming to, and I know it's hard to do that, but like your personal top 5 games that you have experienced and enjoyed far above the rest.
Okay, so I'll give you the top 5 that I've put the most hours into that because I enjoyed it. So. Yeah, I would say Breath of the Wild is probably number 1. I mean, it is beyond, and I know somebody who's going to listen to this. I'm sorry in advance. I have not played mainly because it came out after I started college, and it's been a little difficult because I want to actually sit down and play it all the way through and enjoy it. I have not played the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I have played... Oh, yeah. I have probably put about 6 to 8 6 hours into it, and it's phenomenal what I did play. And I want to play. I want to finish it, but I want to do it in a time where I can sit down and enjoy it. And so what I'm hoping is that when the second part of it comes out here, I don't remember when that's coming out, but I think maybe this year. It's either at the end of this year or the beginning of like 24. I want to sit down and I want to play the first part, and I want to play the second part. But I would say number 2 for me is probably Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
I would have to go. 3 would be. I very much enjoyed Super Mario Odyssey. It was.
Oh, that's kind of a.
It was a really,
it's good,
really good game. Because I had missed a couple Mario games. I mean, I kind of gone back and played them, and like Galaxy was really good. I really enjoyed Galaxy, but Odyssey kind of brought me. I spent a lot of time in Odyssey.
You're taking Odyssey over Mario 64?
Over what?
64?
Oh,
Mario
yeah,
64?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I know 64 was like huge.
I love Mario 64. I
know it brought a different level of Mario gameplay.
Yeah, and I mean, there were some control. I think what knocks it down on the list for me was the control setup. I just didn't.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you see speedrunners nowadays that are abusing these weird mechanics.
Oh, yeah.
You like face the wall and end up in the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still remember that one being like insanely awesome,
Number 4, I would say. Did I do 3? Oh, yeah, I did 3.
Yeah.
4. So we're gonna switch to Xbox 360 here, and I'm gonna go with Call of Duty 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it had one of the best intros, and then I just remember like there was a desert level. And I would get up on top of one of the top of one of the buildings, and I'd get taken out by a buddy, and then I'd go back to that same spot and I'd lay down beside the body because the 360 days it could only leave about 3 or 4 left.
Yeah.
Before they started disappearing. So I'd lay down there and I'd wait for people to peek up, and
nice.
So that's how I got most of my kills. But no, Call of Duty 2, it had a good story. It was, I mean,
Yeah.
I enjoy the Call of Duty games that go through World War II just because my great grandfather fought in the war, and
Yeah, absolutely.
it's kind of, just seeing it from that perspective and thinking about how he dealt with all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Number 5.
Number 5.
I don't really know. I'm stumped.
Kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, I mean, so I would say something that I continuously go back to, and it's going to be kind of a mixture because there are 2 games that I would keep at 5. One of them is a collection that has not quite come out yet because it bundles all of the Mega Man Battle Network stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then there were 2 Transformer games that came out, War for Cybertron, and the other title escapes me. But they were the best.
Yeah, so kind of like a tie between the Transformers bundle and the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Mega Man bundle.
Well, that's how I'm going to have to do this list. Because there's so many, well, first off, number 1 for me, Pokemon.
Oh, a Pokemon game didn't even make my list. That is bad.
Yeah, Pokemon, man. I just, I've probably invested more. It's very close. And, my second one, and this is the type of toxic person that I am, is League of Legends. I've invested too much of my time in League of Legends for it not to at least been a part of my life as a favorite thing to do.
Right.
Even when there were times, and the reason why I say it's toxic is if you've ever played it, you know that the people are extremely rude. Your mindset and the challenges that you face, even if you do everything right in the game, you still might lose very, very convincingly. Yeah, it's just, it's so frustrating. And I'll be honest,
sounds like it's got a community like Rocket League. Rocket League community is very toxic.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know. It's hard to make that comparison because I haven't really played a lot of Rocket League. But I would say just knowing from League, I wouldn't compare it to anything else. I mean I would say that it is one of the worst. Like you'll have people that will open into the game just to waste your time for 45 minutes.
Wow.
I mean, it's that bad. It's like you look at you do something out of the norm in that game, and they're just like, "All right, I'm gonna ruin your life for the next 30 minutes," and you're like, "Why?" Like I didn't even do anything, didn't even mean to do anything, but like the temperament on these players are like beyond me. I'm glad none of them have the nuclear football and their reach because they would have done nuke the planet by now.
Probably multiple times.
Times, just based off of how fickle creatures these individuals are. But
well, see, I was going to pick it up, but now I don't want to.
No, don't touch it. Yeah, if you can stay away from League, listen, it's my second favorite game of all time, but do not touch it. Because it is evil incarnate. Let me just say that it is made by the devil. Do not get snared by it whatsoever, and definitely not getting a Riot sponsorship now.
No,
but it's all right. They're from China anyway. I mean,
so
I don't know if we want that.
They got some good games, but yeah,
they actually do. And once again, League is a phenomenal game, super fun, but. It's tough and it's hard to get into. But going back, Pokemon being my first game or my number 1 on my list, I would just say Pokemon in general. Now, the one game that probably started it all, and a super sad story. It's Pokemon Crystal, and I was in. I think it was in daycare or something like that. I was like 3-4 years old, and I got a copy of Pokemon Crystal. I knew, and it was kind of crazy, but like I was that young, but playing Pokemon, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I loved it. I loved seeing these creatures on the screen, seeing the sprites.
Yeah,
and I was just like, and I fell in love with it. It was great, and I remember one time I was at my mom worked at a daycare, and so I was there. I don't think it was right before I started school, like the year or a few months before I started school. And I remember she was working there and I was there. and I was playing on the playground there with all the other kids. And I remember it was time to come inside. And as I was coming inside, I guess I think I was upside down on the monkey bars or something like that. Had it in my pocket, fell out into the wood chips, never to be seen again.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. I think about that to this day, and I was like 4 years old. Oh, man.
That's horrible.
It's like one of the... Listen, I don't remember anything about my childhood. Like, rarely anything, but that was so ingrained because of the tragedy that I suffered at the age of 4.
Isn't that crazy how we don't remember a whole lot from our childhood?
Oh, yeah, no. Like, I can't remember anything till, like, maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But I remembered that. You know, yeah. I remember that, but... probably Pokemon Crystal. I'm not saying it's the best Pokemon game, right? But I will say that it was probably one of my favorites. You know, Gold, Silver, Crystal. I would say Crystal because that's the one that I had.
Right.
But oh yeah, it was phenomenal. 3, oof. 3 is interesting. I'm trying to think of all the games that I've invested so much time into. Honestly, I think I'd have to go with another competitive game because for a long time that was my identity as a gamer was a competitive gamer,
right.
and still is to a degree. But I would have to say maybe Halo Reach.
Okay.
You know, and I know a lot of people are like Halo 3 is the best or something of that nature. Halo 2.
I agree with that. Halo 3 was...
Halo 3 is phenomenal. Storyline for sure. You know?
Oh, yeah. And because I mean, everybody kind of got burnt out with the Halo 2 was swapping between, you know, the Covenant character and then Master Chief. But 2 had fun multiplayer. And 2 still had a wonderful story.
Well,
and the remaster was really good.
2 and 3, their multiplayers were great, but whenever I got into Halo, it was on the back foot of 3's lifespan. Right, so it was at the very end of that because, you know, beforehand I didn't have internet, so I wasn't able to play it. But then Reach came out, so I played maybe the last year of 3's lifespan, and it was great. I had a blast, and then. Yeah, and then we went to Reach, and I invested so much of, you know, so like League, probably the vast majority of my time. I spent about 10 years, right? But before that, what had entertained me before League was Reach. And I played that for like 2 or 3 years straight. I'm talking about like every day would come home and I would play.
Now see,
you know, and then I would go to sleep, and then I would wake up, and then if I had free time, I would play. And then I would even wake up early so that I could play before school.
Now, see, for those that know us personally, you'll get a kick out of this. So he's talking about how he got internet, you know, that was fast enough to play games. What he doesn't remember is the old dial-up to play Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I do, but I don't because we didn't even have that. But
well, so I mean, I remember the dial-up modem. I mean, we would get on. For anybody that knows anything about StarCraft, I was a master at the Zerg Rush.
Oh yeah. I know a few listeners know a little bit about StarCraft.
So I mean, 15 minutes. That's all our matches lasting. That Zerg Rush will get you every time. Zerg Rush.
But and I'm kind of with you. The last 4 and 5, man, kind of is elusive. There's a few different things that I would say kind of go there. More than a Pokemon fan, and you guys might just think, man, this guy loves monsters, and in a way I do. Like, I love like the concept of like catching a monster or having a monster companion by your side. Listen, if Pokemon was in real life, it would be incredible, but also it would be disastrous because then you would have just people riding a Dragonite around blowing holes in buildings.
It would not be awesome. We would be out of a job.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, we would be Pokemon trainers.
There you go. We'd have different jobs.
Can you imagine being a gym leader in, like, real life? Like, people, like, knocking at your door, like, pounding on your door saying, "Fight me!" And you're like, dude, chill out.
Well, they had that in New York.
Yeah.
They opened up some store.
Okay, you're talking about the gym in New York. Yeah. A Wolfie Glick, yeah. Oh, that was an awesome thing that
I mean, that was
I thought
really
you were
neat.
talking about just random strangers walking up to you on the street saying,
Well, hey, look. When,
just random strangers walking up saying, "Fight me!"
when
I think you might see that in New York.
that's some like Fatal Fury stuff right there.
Just walk around the corner. I'm just a hobo. Fight me. You're like, no, sir, I don't think so. I feel like rabies would be a part of this.
Well, okay, so and let's go back 6 years when the Switch came out. You know, they showed Pokemon. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
Oh yeah,
and that was my vision. It was like these people walking around in Japan, you know, with everybody's got a Switch in their pocket, or I mean, you know, in their backpack, and they're like, hey. We're gonna Pokemon battle, and they're pop the Switch out, and they're Pokemon battling on the street, or you know, down in the park, and that was my vision for the Switch. You know, 'cause of course you see the commercial, the first commercial where, you know, the guy's like in his house playing Breath of the Wild on TV, and he goes to walk the dog, and he like picks the Switch up off the dock, and he takes the dog for the walk. He takes the dog to the park. He throws the ball. The dog goes to get it, and he's sitting there playing Breath of the Wild. That dog never comes back.
No. Oh man.
So, but I mean,
too busy trying to get the Master Sword.
Of course, you know, living in the area that we live in, it's not, you know,
it's not.
You're not going to walk down the street to do something like. You might get run over.
Yeah, no, you
by a
will
tractor.
Yeah, by a tractor.
But
there's going to be a long line of traffic behind you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As you're smeared on the pavement. But yeah, no, you don't walk on the roads. But
that's funny. So anyway, sorry. Back to
random men trying to fight you and fight me.
Oh
but
man,
no, I'm at a loss when it comes to 4 and 5. I mean, I love Zelda, but to be honest with you, I don't think I like Zelda as much as many others do, and I think it's fine. I really enjoy it.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I really enjoy it, and I understand the appeal to it. But it's one of those things where, and maybe I'm a little too logistical when it comes to gaming, but it's like I look at it and I'm like, what can I gain from this game? What do I need to, you know, and am I going to get the maximum amount of fulfillment out of this game if I play it? And to me, the appeal has never truly been there all the way for Zelda. And I've beaten several Zelda games, but, you know, once again, going back to it, it's just... It's like it's been great and it was a fun time, but on the flip side of things, it's like it's not one of the first things that I think of when I'm like, hey, let me get to gaming.
Well, and
Zelda.
And it is, you know, I mean, it is a story driven type, you know, especially with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was a very story driven game, and even though they kind of just threw you into it, and you know, you kind of had to figure stuff out for yourself. I mean, those were things that I liked about Breath of the Wild that. You know, they didn't just force feed you the instructions like and that was the big change for WoW because I picked up WoW. You know, it was not. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it was vanilla WoW.
Wait, so WoW? You didn't even put WoW on your list?
No, I didn't.
WoW's wasn't one of your favorite games?
I mean, it was one of my favorite MMOs, but it. I mean, and we did spend a lot of time in it. I mean, if anything, I mean, it would probably be like number 6.
Oh, really?
Because and the problem with WoW is that I haven't played it in so long that it would be like picking it up brand new again. So if I'm going to pick up a brand new game,
you know, it's so story driven too. I mean, like the
lore is amazing.
The lore is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the same thing with League. You know, the lore is amazing. I mean, the character building, the city building, the world building. I mean, it's crazy, and they're all connected, which I think is phenomenal as well. But no, 4. What I was getting to 4.
Yeah.
This one might come. I don't know if you've even ever really played it before, but Digimon World 3. You ever played that before? Digimon World 3?
No, I haven't.
Amazing! I'm telling you, it's phenomenal.
What was the new Digimon game that just came out? Wasn't there one that just came out?
Yeah,
on Switch?
There was. I think it's Next Order.
Digimon, because it was like a remake of GameCube. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like almost a remake of the very first one, Digimon World.
Oh, okay.
Right, and the very first one was a lot different than 3. 3 was Digimon Final Fantasy. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
3 was like, it's turn-based, it's it's turn-based, it's you had a bunch of different things that you can do, like each Digimon, and you can interchange your Digimon later on. Each Digimon had like a certain amount of skills that it can learn.
Yeah.
And then it had like a hyper drive to it. It had a limit break drive and that you can use your special on.
Stole that from Final Fantasy.
It literally was stolen from Final. Which it came out PS1, so it's pretty close to. But yeah, Digimon World 3 might be up there. That's hard. I don't even like putting it in 4 because I want to put it so much higher. It was a great game.
Well, that's probably what happened to IGN, but they made some mistakes.
Oh, bad. What the witness?
The witness.
What are you talking about? Well, I just witnessed the tragedies when I witnessed.
It's like putting Ark for Switch up there, like in the top 10.
Yeah.
You can't even play that.
It's just, I don't know. It's just, oof. The last one, I don't know. It'd be a toss-up between a bunch of different games, I guess. I was a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! For a long time. And at one point, that was the only game I actually had was Yu-Gi-Oh! So maybe the nostalgia there. Yu-Gi-Oh! On the GBA.
And I think that's what a lot of the list was for me. A lot of it was just nostalgia. And
once again, we're not saying that these games are better than a bunch of. There's a lot of, especially nowadays. I don't think you can use that comparison when it comes to.
God of War didn't even make my list, and it is like.
But
it's in the top 10 for sure.
You would look at something like Ragnarok, right? Obviously that's blowing any of these ones that we mentioned, like mechanically. Graphic-wise, dialogue-wise, I'm sure.
Well, I will say the 2018 version of God of War was, story-wise, was better than Ragnarok. I liked Ragnarok, but story-wise, I liked it better.
Yeah, it's just, so in terms of like figuring out what the best game is of all time, obviously, like we're going to continue to improve, rightfully so, as as individuals, as companies, they're going to look at their mistakes and they're going to try to improve on that, and they're going to make something new, and just as the consumer wants. So you're never going to. It would be a flaw if you see them going backwards.
Yeah,
So.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Kind of.
I don't have to think on that fifth one, man. I don't know. I am stumped on that fifth one. But. That is kind of it.
Well, and I'm sure IGN they probably that's probably a group of them picking those Legend of Zelda numbers. I don't know. Like I said, I would probably.
I agree more with the Legend of Zelda than I did it was a mistake looking at the 100.
Yeah.
What in the world?
That'd be a 3-hour show to pick that apart, right? I don't know if we could do that or not. That may be after I finish school.
That was something. Yeah, it would be something that I would do after I finish school. Yeah. It'd take that long, man. I won't even know.
But no, I would bump Twilight Princess up. I would bump Majora's Mask down. As much as I did like Majora's Mask, it was not as good as Ocarina of Time. But top 5 Legend of Zelda games have got to be Breath of the Wild, Link to the Past, probably Twilight Princess. Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time. That would be like my top 5, I think, best.
And I know we've already beaten a dead horse here, but 13 was Hades. I have it. I own Hades, and I've had a blast with Hades.
Oh, really? So you did pick it up?
I've beaten Hades. Oh, yeah, I've had it for a long time. I've had it before it even was released to everything else.
Oh, did you get it on Steam?
I got it on Steam. Like at the very beginning, before they dropped DLC and incorporated like new weapons and stuff like that. Yeah. I've had it from the get go. I think back during maybe not beta, but I've had it for a while, and I've played it and enjoyed it and played a lot of it. It's not 13th.
No, not
13th
over Final Fantasy VII
all time. a game that just came out. It's an indie game.
Yeah,
I know. We're getting back into it, but
that's not.
What is
happening.
Disco Elysium?
I don't know. I saw that.
Where are they getting this information from? Mass Effect 2. Oh, Mass Effect 2. That was good.
See, I have never played a Mass Effect game.
Oh, Mass Effect games are crazy, man.
See, those are the type of games that came out when I was in WoW. So, like, I mean, and when I say I played World of Warcraft for 6-7 years, that is all we did. I mean, that, the occasional movie or, but if I was playing a video game, I was playing World of Warcraft. And it was to the point where I didn't play. I mean, I don't think I turned my 360 on for 2 years. I mean, every once in a while I'd pick up something that I already had, or I might get one for Christmas, something like that, and I would play. But
I don't know if I wouldn't put this at 5. I mean, I guess this would be a good filler 5 for right now until I can. I don't know. I probably will never answer what my 5th one is on top 5. But there is a series out there, the Dynasty Warriors.
Oh yeah,
right. And sometimes I just like to shut my brain off. And so Dynasty Warriors of all kind, but in particularly there's a Dynasty Warriors Gundam branch, and I've played 1. I played 2 and 3, and both. I'm telling you, I've invested a lot of time into those. Oh, never mind. I got it. I know what 5 is. Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts didn't even make the list.
I remember playing. Listen, I did something. If I would have done it now on stream, I would probably be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Because you know how on stream nowadays most people enjoy this level of, like, they either enjoy a few different things. Either you having this really flamboyant personality, right? And most of the time that's what draws people, right?
Yeah.
So the top streamers, the vast majority of them are just chatting. They're not even playing games. They're just chatting with people, and people come for them.
Dude, I saw somebody sleeping on Twitch the other day.
Oh, yeah. I
mean, people donating money for this dude to
it
sleep.
also kind of depends on how you look,
I mean...
Was it a dude?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was like...
We're doing it. Why are we putting in so much effort?
He was sleeping, and then he got up and got a haircut.
I do that every day. I mean, not a haircut every day.
I mean, I
They
could
don't grow up. They grow that fast. But
I could drop 8 to 10 hours and sleep.
what? That's crazy.
I'm down with that.
Well, I remember there was a weird thing with people like whispering and like the mic.
Oh,
no, that's ASMR stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, if that's what you like, no, don't. Don't do it. That's weird.
I can't. Where they get up on the mic and they speak really softly, and then they tap
soft, and they rub their fingers together.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
What I did, I remember one time I went to go stay with my dad, and at the time he lived in Colorado. I went to go stay with my dad for the summer, and so 3 months. And I remember I was burned out from League, didn't want to play it. I think I was like 15, 16 years old at the time. Didn't know anybody up there, and so, and we would go, but on days where he had to work, because we were staying with him for 3 months, he had to work still.
Right.
We were stuck there at the house, we didn't have anything to do. I would boot up and hop on Kingdom Hearts, right? I remember I got level 99 before ever hopping off. I got max level before ever getting off the first island.
Wow.
Took me 3 months. Took me all summer. Every day I would hop on. I'm telling you, if I were to do it now on stream and have that level, because the other thing that's very appealing to people is ludicrously difficult challenges. Challenges that are like way over the top.
That's why everybody watches so much Elden Ring.
Well, yeah, things like that where like people are just like marveling at the resolve of these individuals, right? Like I'll tell you one thing about Elden Ring or some of the Dark Souls games, that a challenge that you can do on there, that I've seen somebody do on there, not going through the whole game without getting hit a single time.
I already failed that.
A single time without getting hit a single time. playing through the entirety of a Souls game.
Oh no.
And somebody there have been people that have done it. It's insane to me. Those are the things that you look at and you're like, that's insane. There's no way. And so that's where the viewership's going to come, right? From the people that are marveling at the sheer fact of their will and the resolve.
Elden Ring beat down my pride.
That was me. It hit me with a sledgehammer. But
he hit me with
in
a bunch
Kingdom
of
Hearts,
stuff.
I sat there over and over and over again, hours upon hours. I probably did this fight thousands of times. On the beginning island, for those who've never played it before, there's a beginning island that you start off, and the game is teaching you how to spar, how to fight. And so the beginning, you start off with like a little wooden sword. And Kingdom Hearts is a mixture of Square Enix games, so Final Fantasy games, and Disney games, right? And that's what Kingdom Hearts is kind of an amalgamation of those on top of like new characters that they've implemented. Well, the beginning island has a bunch of Square Enix games, a bunch of Final Fantasy X games, 10 characters to be exact. And so you can fight them in their kid forms. And when you beat them, you get a certain amount of EXP. So, like, you beat Titus, however you want to pronounce it, the main character of Final Fantasy X, you beat him, you get 3 or 4 experience. You beat Waka, you get, like, 2. You beat the rope girl, I forgot her name. She has a jump rope, though, in the game.
Yeah.
You get 1, right? Well, in the middle of these fights, there are deflections that you can do. So, like, the little girl will throw the jump rope at you, and you can deflect it. If you deflect it, you get 1 point of experience. Waka, if he throws his ball at you, you can deflect it, and you get 1 point of experience. If he throws a fast one, you can get like 3 or 4. If you fight Titus, he'll go swing, and you can deflect it. And every time that he swings, you get like 2 or 3 EXP points. And I would sit there and fight Titus over and over and over again and just deflect him.
Good Lord.
Let me tell you, when I tell you that not only because of my mechanic, or not only because of my level that I was overpowered, but the sheer fact that anything that would come in my distance is like I awakened Ultra Instinct. I was like, ding, 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 ding. They would fling whatever at me. I was like, ding. Nope. I just deflect it. And they were like, what is going on? Well, these enemies are like, okay. Ding, 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 ding. Probably got hit maybe a handful of times.
I feel like there's a lesson here for our esports kids.
I'm telling you, I don't know where it came from. I don't know where that result, because I've never had a resolve like that ever again in my life, about gaming at least.
Practice so practice.
Equals Ultra Instinct.
Well, I mean, but practice and
makes you
repetition
better.
And repetition and
consistency.
Consistency. These are all things that can lead to 3 stocks.
Progress.
3 stocks.
Yeah, maybe winning some Overwatch games.
But, yeah. I think.
But I know that was a bit of a long story, but just wanted to share with y'all a moment of my past that I think fairly proud of, but also extremely confused as to where that ever came. Like, I don't know where that came from within me. It was just one of those things where it was like, hey, what would be awesome if I spend all summer playing a game that I've already beaten multiple times, but this time I do it at level 99.
Hardcore.
I do it where I don't progress until I reach this goal.
Nice.
And so essentially I beat the game whenever I hit level 99, because that was my goal. It's like I've already beat Ansem 1,000 times.
Yeah, right.
I don't need to beat him, at level 30.
Right.
I'm going to smack him down whenever he can't do anything to me because I'm level 99.
Well, that was my first PS4 Pro game, because I got mine late. I mean, so like I got a PS4 Pro. I got it pretty late in the life cycle, but the Kingdom Hearts collection.
Yeah. Soundtrack,
such a good
the gameplay. Now, I will say this: the storyline is a little wacky.
Yeah,
storyline is extremely difficult to follow because you have to play the DS games and
right. Well, see, the collection had the DS games, had the mainline games, it had the DS games, it had it had everything, and so
that's what you need.
It was the full collection. I think the only thing mine didn't have was 2.5, or it was like 2.5, and then but I bought that, played through all of it, and then played 3 when it came out, and 3 was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier than the others, but it was really good.
Well, but yeah, I would probably say that's number 5.
Yeah.
When you put that many
Kingdom
hours,
Hearts.
when you put that level of resolve in a game, I guess it needs to be one of your favorites.
Blood, sweat, and tears in the Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I think I cried a few times.
Probably because your fingers hurt.
Yeah. I got blisters on my fingers.
Yeah.
Over there.
Well,
shout out to Aussie fans.
I don't know, man. I guess that's about what we got.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a little bit of news. I know that Metroid Zero Mission is rumored to come to the Switch, the Game Boy Advance, which I told my kiddo he wanted to play Metroid Dread, and I told him, I said, well, when Metroid Fusion comes out for the GBA,
Play that first.
I said, play that first, see if you like it, then I'll let you play Dread. So he's actually playing it, and he's really enjoying it. But now that Zero Mission's coming out, which was, I mean, equally as awesome. That was a good remake for the series.
Which, and hopefully it should play even better on the Switch.
Oh yeah, I hope so. We've kind of been talking about RPG games and stuff. I'm gonna butcher this. Legend of Nayuta. Boundless Trials. Looks like a pretty good game. It's made by NIS, so it's like the E series and some of those other games.
It's a JRPG?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's hard to go wrong with that. Mm-hmm. I mean, the vast majority of them are just fun.
And then to top that off is Deca Police. I'm so excited about Deca Police.
I know you're pumped about that.
Well, it's level 5, man. Level 5's making it, so I mean, it ought to be
okay.
It ought to be pretty good.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
We'll see.
I don't know. I'm excited,
but
that's it. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we don't got a lot of news. That hasn't been a whole bunch of news, but we just wanted to bring that to you. The top 10 when it comes to Zelda games, but of course, we dabbled a good bit into. Not really dabbling, a whole segment essentially on the
IGNs
top 100
garbage list.
Oh my! I mean, that was just guys. Please. I understand some of y'all might even like these games, and that's cool. That's fine. But let's be honest. I mean, these are not the top. These are not the top list. Games.
No.
Well,
next will be Fortnite. Will be number 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know how many kids would probably say that?
Oh,
I went round and round today. Do you play Fortnite? I was like, no, I don't play Fork Knife. And they're like, no, it's Fortnite. I was like, what? I was like, I'm saying it right, Fork Knife. And they're like, no. They're like, say it with me, fork. I was like, okay. I was like, how do you say it? And they're like, fort. And as soon as they would say fort, I was like, fork. And they're like, okay. They're like, knife. I was like, knife. And they're like, you're not saying it right. I was like, I am. Fork Knife.
Maybe you're not reading it right.
Yeah. I was like, Fort Knife? Yeah. And they're like, no, not Fort Knife. I was like, okay. What about Fork Night?
Hey,
they're like,
Fork Knife? Seems like a pretty dangerous game.
Yeah, Fork Knife.
Fork Knife.
Fork Knife. It teaches you how to cut your food. But anyways, I was strolling the kids so hard. I was like, Fork Knife. They're like, no. We spent 5 minutes discussing how to pronounce Fortnite.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, kids, I want you to know I have very little desire to understand or know this game.
Oh, see.
And I don't have anything against the game. I know that. I know the game. I know the player base on it.
I've sunk some hours, and
when you got a prepubescent 7-year-old that's like, get wrecked, kid. I'm like, excuse me, kid. It's like, yeah. I mean, you're better than me at video games, I guess, which is awesome. I mean, power to you. But like, learn how to tie your shoes.
Yeah, right.
Like, they're like, we're the best. Yeah, check out how I make my my tower. I'm like, okay,
Oh no.
So
It's got
check out how I swipe my credit card because I can do that because I'm a grown man.
well, I mean, or and that's the thing. A lot of them used to playing builds. I don't even get into those matches anymore. Now I'm playing with these like sweaty tryhards that that play these Call of Duty guys that come over and play Fortnite just to level up the battle pass and get all the collection.
There's a reason why I don't play Pokemon Unite anymore. It's because at the very beginning of the lifespan of it, I was just pub stomping all these kids that were like, "Oh, sweet, a Pokemon game," and I was just feeding down these kids. I went all Anakin on them.
Oh, we're
that's the beginning moment.
We're horrible human beings.
I went all Anakin on them. They're like, "My favorite Pokemon is Pikachu," and I'm over here just crushing these little kids.
Oh,
very first time I'm playing a competitive MOBA game.
Yeah, you've made a lot of kids hate Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah, and all of them uninstalled it, and now nothing but all of the league players are now going to Pokemon Unite. So now all of the sweaty league players are like, so now they're like, "What? You ganked me as Greninja?" And I'm like, all right. I was like, I think this is my time to leave.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing like stomping kids. Joking.
Yeah,
and Pokemon, guys, and Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not in real life.
Nothing brings me greater satisfaction as to
beating kids in video games.
Beating kids in Smash with the controller behind my back.
Oh my. The level of Master Miyagi disrespect.
But hey, you know what? A lot of and I'll say this. That's when I learned how to play. That's how I would play the kids. And now a lot of those kids have come up, and I've had to move the controller in front now because I've got to play because I mean they did learn something over the last 5 years.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey. That in itself is a legacy.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We're grateful for it. But anyways, I know we probably need to wrap it with all the jokes in right now. Well, now, just remember, y'all, don't go Anakin kids, all right?
Yeah.
And when you Anakin kids, it's a bad time, all right?
Well, we learn not to be as competitive as sprites.
Yeah. Don't follow after me. I'm a bad example. I live as Christ until video games are involved.
Yeah, right.
Then we get a little rough. But anyways, well, we thank you guys so much for tuning in, for listening. And so, as we've been doing every single time, we're going to kind of dismiss in a word of prayer, just words of encouragement for you. And this isn't necessarily verbatim from Scripture, but there is tons of great principles in Scripture, and that is, whatever you're going through right now, in terms of hardship, or in fact, actually, one of my favorite psalms there is, I believe it's the Psalms of Asaph. All within that entire psalm, he gets to talking about, he looks around and all he sees is the wicked prospering. He said, all I see is bad people getting good things,
right,
in their life. And I know many of us in life, we would like people to get their just reward. So if they do good, we would want them to be rewarded with good.
Right.
And if they do bad, we would want them to get punished.
Right.
All right. And that doesn't always, correlate together in life. But, there he was like, all I see is wicked prospering. And he said, I even began to feel my steps slipping. He said, I almost, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I almost slipped. He said, but then I found myself in the temple of God. I looked towards God, and I realized that, all of these things, they're temporal. All of these things that, that I'm going through, the hardships that I might be going through, they're temporary.
Right.
And one thing I like to do, and this might be a great words of encouragement for you, you being the listeners out there, is I don't know what you're going through, but I do know this, that there's oftentimes I find myself worrying and stressing over things that I have to put back in my mind and think, how is this issue going to be in a year from now?
Right.
Is this even going to matter? Is this, and I think, and we live on a day-to-day basis, but when we really think about it in that way, is this going to matter to me in a year? Am I going to think about this? And the vast majority of the time, guys and girls, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
And so when he says that, he said, listen, I almost lost my way. I almost, fell into this depression and started looking towards the world for answers. And he said, but then I went and looked back at God and realized that that's my answer. That's the key to this thing called life. How am I going to make it through this hardship? And let me tell you, the only way that you could truly do that and do it peaceably is through God.
I mean, that brings me back to Job every time.
Every time. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and everything that he went through and never faltered.
Yep.
Never.
Absolutely. But I just want to leave that with you guys, and so we're going to get ready to get out of here. We're going to dismiss in a word of prayer, and I just hope that you guys have a blessed day, and just want each and every one of y'all to know that I think I speak for the both of us. We love y'all, and we're thankful to have listeners that continue to faithfully support us each and every day. So,
amen.
But if y'all will, let's bow and let's go to the Lord in word of prayer. Father God, thank you so much for today, and we thank you for our listeners. We thank you for each and every one of them. And God, we ask that if there's anybody that is struggling through hardship or difficulty or whatever it may be, it might even just be life, Lord. We ask that you give them peace and comfort. Lord, you give them guidance and direction in their life. And God, we ask that you just continue to increase, if it be your will, increase our listeners, and we would love to continue to do this, and we enjoy it so much. And God, we're thankful to be given an outlet such as this to be able to lift up your name, as well as to be able to express things that we are passionate about, that we enjoy deeply. And God, we just want to lift up your name today in praise and worship. And Lord, we love you and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, guys. I will actually add this one last thing before you go, if you can. We're not looking to see you guys. We're not looking to try to make a whole bunch of money off of this or anything like that. But we do ask this one simple thing of y'all, and I think many YouTubers do this often, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's a call to action, right? And what that is we just want to call y'all to action in terms of sharing this podcast with people that you connect with, whoever you may be as a listener. Tell a buddy, tell a friend, especially if they share the same interests that we do in terms of gaming and other things like that. Share it with individuals that you think would tune in. We'd love for this to get out and more people to listen.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to call you on to action if you can, almost like subscribing to the channel, but we don't got one to subscribe to yet.
Well, we do technically.
Technically we do.
But, it's
but so we're going to call you to action today if you can. Just share it with somebody. And we might have 40 listeners today, and if everybody shares it, we just doubled.
Yeah.
Right then and there. So very simple. Easy on y'all's part. Just say, hey, tune into Dragon Wells Gaming. I think you're going to enjoy it.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things we do want to grow this. I feel like this is something that is near and dear to our hearts, and we appreciate this, and we enjoy doing this. I know that I hope a lot of listeners enjoy listening to us. And just to be able to talk about video games and spread God's word, and just to have a community like what we have now, if we can double that or triple that would be a blessing. I feel like
absolutely, yeah. And let's just be honest. I think it would be. I think it's needful. I think we need more content creators that are willing to be expressive about faith, but also family friendly.
Yeah.
And that's hard. That's few and far between. So we just want to call you to action. And if you can, share it with somebody, share it with a friend, buddy, spouse, you name it.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at in life, we would love for you to share it with them. But thank you so much. If nothing else, Maverick, do you got anything?
I got nothing.
All right.
I got nothing.
Well,
all right. Y'all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you next time.
All right. See you later.
Peace out.